Yeah,
We are good.
Can hear you loud and clear, Chukwemeka.
All right, please, you need to work on the hosts, right? So that will be sure that people can, unmute when they are supposed to. Okay, so welcome everyone. I'm going to bring up my screen and we are going to start immediately. Okay, if you are here and you know someone that this session is going to be very, very important to, please feel free to call them, feel free to send this link to them and ask them to join this session so that they can also be able to benefit from what we are going to be discussing tonight. Okay, so please feel free to all right. Sorry about that. I think someone muted me. Hi, Lydia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I muted everybody. I was trying to unmute you. Sorry about that.
All right. I think there's someone shouting my name in the chat box. I hope it's someone that I know. Okay, so as I was saying, tonight we're having a discussion on basically how you can set yourself up with respect to starting very well in 2025. And before we jump right into what we have tonight, I would love to know you and where you are joining us from. Okay, so feel free to type your name and where you are joining us tonight so that we'll get to know each other. All right, so we'll just do that within the next few seconds. Okay, so your name and where you're joining us from tonight so that we can immediately jump right into what we have today. Okay, I can see a couple of chats dropping. Amazing, amazing. I can see, oh, this is really a very interactive class. I love that. I can see Anna from UK. I can see Temi from ATL. I can see Uche from Nigeria. I can see Nana from Ghana. Can see Bella UK, Okiwa Canada, Emmanuel from Nigeria, Nuhu from UK, Yanolua from Nigeria, Bukola from England, EL from UK, Titilayo from Canada, Ella from Nigeria, Charles Nigeria, Bolaji from UK, Taiwo from Nigeria, Senegalese but living in Canada. Okay, that should be Seinabu. Okay, it's good to have you on the course, Seinabu. Emmanuel from Ghana, Francis, UK. Amazing, amazing. I may not be able to touch base with each and every one of you, but this is a really, really a full class. Okay, we'll have people that are coming from different regions, different countries across the globe. That's really one thing that the tech ecosystem offers to everyone, the opportunity to be able to get anything you want from any jurisdiction that you are in. I also love to know if today is the first time that you are joining any of our sessions, okay? So that I'll be able to know how to navigate and have these conversations with everyone. So if today is the first time that you are joining Anything Analytics Masterclass before now, please feel free to type in a 1 in the chat box. But if you've been to any of our sessions before now, please type any number that pleases you, okay? But if today is the first time that you are joining our session, please type in a 1 so that I'll also be able to know the people I have and how to be able to navigate this conversation. Okay, I can see a couple of 1, first time, 1. Amazing, amazing. I can see a 10, I can see a 7. Okay, it means that we have Emmanuel that have been here before. We have Osaz that have been here before as well. Okay, we can see a 2. That means these are people that have been here. Okay, it's good to have each and every one of you back here tonight. And what we're going to be discussing is basically how you can be able to start your 2025 in a way that it will be able to align to your own plans, okay? So setting yourself for a job in the UK, US, Canada with a 4-month scale. Your 2025 starts now. You know, most of us, we always wait till January before we start making our plans. We always wait till that 31st night and we have what we call our New Year resolution. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But tonight, we're going to start tonight to make all those plans. Because if you want to be able to break into the tech ecosystem by January or by February, your plan needs to start now, okay? And who are we? Like I mentioned before now, we are Analytics, and we are the leading educational technology company from Africa that is helping people of the Black community to break into the tech industry. So what we do is that we teach using project-based approach to make sure that we simulate the real-life experience that people have in their jobs for you to be able to have that same project-based experience and be able to land jobs with them. And we've been doing this for the last 4 years, and we've helped more than 2,000 people with no initial technical background move from our classroom into their first roles across the UK, US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and of course, Asia. And basically, we offer 8 premium courses that ranges across data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, full stack data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, that's Scrum Master, and of course, cyber security. And soon to come, AI engineering. And how we do this is by bringing in experts from their jobs back to the classroom to teach people based on project learning. Okay, so those things that they practice on their job on day-to-day basics, that's what they come back to the classroom to teach everyone that we have, so that you are going to have a practical based learning towards any course that you choose to go into. All right, and who am I? I am Chukwemeka Ekpa, okay, and I'm a technology consultant with nearly a decade experience in GRC and of course strategy consulting. And presently I am the CEO of Tenalytics, and I've guided over 1,000 individuals with no prior technical background into successful technology careers, okay, and helping them to land their first job. Basically, my experience spans across GRC in the banking sector, head of control in a fintech, data analyst in the fintech, and also a business consultant with the hospitality industry. So I've worked across the financial service, I've worked in the capital market industry, I've worked in the hospitality industry, and presently I'm in the education sector. Can connect with me across the socials, LinkedIn, Chukwemeka Ekpa, Twitter, Emeka_Heist. I don't know whether that Twitter is still active, okay? But LinkedIn, Instagram can connect with me across the social media platforms, so can have a personalized conversation as well. Okay, and these are things that we'll be doing tonight. First, we'll be talking about getting you prepped for 2025 in European and North America, the jobs that also have high return on investment. Okay, and then number 2, we talk about the pathway to becoming a tech professional and securing a job. I also walk you through the Tenalytics Growth Internship Program, where you also get to have an internship experience to simulate things that happen real life. And then lastly, we'll have a special discount for you with respect to this exact program that we are having. So before I continue, I also love to know what you specifically want to take out from this session tonight. Okay, so please feel free to type also what you specifically want to take out from this session, so that I'll make sure that before we are done with our discussion, that I've scratched what you want to know. Okay, so please type it in the chat box so that I can also have an idea of what you want to take out from this session. Okay, so please feel free to type in what you want to take out from this session tonight, so that I'll be sure that we are all on the same page. Okay, I'm waiting. I can't see anything yet. I can't see anyone dropping anything. 1 and 2. Okay, Cedric said 1 and 2. That's getting prepped for 2025 and also the pathway to becoming a tech professional. I mean, what you specifically want to get without the ones I've already listed, because definitely the ones I listed, we are going to handle it. But I want to hear from you as well, specifically what you want to take out from this session. Okay, so that I'll make sure that my discussion is also around this exact thing that you want to take out. Okay, I can see a couple of comments. Joe H mentioned, what's the fee for data analytics and project management and duration of the course? You are very fast, Joe. You are very fast. So we'll get to all those things. But before we talk about the fee, because I always tell people trying to break into the tech industry, money is the least thing that you should be talking about, right? Money is the least thing. Most important thing is for you to understand and even know whether data analytics and project management is the best fit for you. Okay, so we'll get to that, all right? Want to know on data analytics, basically, I'll touch that. Data analytics, I need a job before end of December 2024, Princess Nana. You need a job before the end of December. Fantastic, I love that. So we're going to talk about things that's also going to help you land a job. Okay, Senabu 1 and 2, getting ready for 2025. Can I get a full-time job abroad as a resident in Nigeria? You can, Krista, you 100% can. All right, former data analysis. I want to get a remote job. I need a job into data analysis. I need a job before the end of this year, 2024. Amazing. You know, when people come to me and say, Chukwemeka, I need a job. I want to get this exact job before this happens. There's always one thing I ask. What skill do you have? So I spoke to someone one time that said, okay, I need a job. Do you mind, linking me up? And I said, okay, what kind of job are you looking for? And what I heard was any type of job. I mean, anything you give me, I'm going to be able to do it. When people come from this exact direction, it simply means that there is something that is lacking. Okay, if I can't comfortably say, okay, I'm looking for a management consulting role, I'm looking for a data engineering role, I'm looking for an agile project manager role, it means that I've not been able to get myself together. So these are part of things that we are going to talk tonight and be able to have that discussion. Okay. So, but please ensure that you fill the attendance form so that you get the slide that we're using for this discussion and also get the recording of this class. Okay. So you get the slide and you also get the recording so that even if you have any reason to drop off along the line, can comfortably go through it on your own. Okay, so please, my colleagues, the Enquiries at Analytics and also Elijah, they are dropping the link. So please make sure that you fill in the form so they can personally go through it. Okay, I can see someone asking, do you teach cyber security? So if you've been listening to me, you would have heard the 8 courses I mentioned that we offer here, okay? So that's why I mentioned also make sure that you fill the form so that if you miss any bit of information that we're going to pass tonight, can go through it on your own, and you also have access to this slide for you to be able to go through it on your own personally. Okay, so we're going to jump right into what we have for tonight. Okay, if I can still see my screen, you will see can see my screen, you understand that all of us, before when this year started, we didn't even know what was going on. But before you know it, 2024, from 0% is currently on 84%. Okay, which means we have close to 100% before this year is over. And for you to start your 2025 in an amazing manner, it means that you need to be able to prepare now. We have less than 60 days for us to be able to make plans around what you want to do by 2025. Let me also ask a general question, okay? I might be wrong, but then how many of us said that this January 2024 that they're going to break into the tech industry? Okay, is there anyone on this call that mentioned that this year, 2024, they're going to break into the tech industry or they're going to try to learn a tech skill? Just feel free to type. Personally, for myself, this year I mentioned that I'm going to start gymming, but I didn't enter any gym till November 1st. Okay, I never set my feet inside any gym until November 1st. That's roughly 10 months gone before I'm able to do what I plan to do as of January. Now, this is 10 months gone without me making plans of what I want to do. Personally, if you see me, I'm one lanky guy like that. And I've always been saying, oh, I'm going to try to break into the gym, build muscles, eat supplements and be able to, stand fully. But then I've not been able to do all those things. And it's down to planning and making sure that it happens. So if you're one of those people that also made some of this plan, can see someone said me on it already, and a couple of things, right? We always say, I want to do this, okay? I made such plans too. That's from iPhone. We always know, okay? By January, you're going to see everyone saying, oh, this year is my year, okay? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But if you are waiting till January before you can be able to say, this year is my year, just watch this jump again. Just watch how you move from January to November, okay? This is how it goes. Exactly. And before you know it, the year is over. So for you to prep for 2025, it's today. So today is when you're going to say, oh, I'm going to do this now in preparation for 2025, and not I'm going to do this in January when 2025 comes. So there is difference between how this is said. First person said, I'm going to do this now to prepare for 2025. The second person is saying, I will do this in 2025. So it's left for you to know how you can be able to fit in for you to be able to have an amazing year. Okay. So the person that said, I'm going to do this now in preparation for 2025 will definitely have a better entry into 2025 than the person that is saying, I'm going to do this in January 2025. And that is the same way the tech ecosystem works. So when we mention, oh, I'm going to do this in January, there is no time like the perfect time. Okay, there is no time like the perfect time. We always want, okay, I'll do this in Q1, I'll do this in Q2, I'll do this in Q3. I'm going to start by 1st of March. I'm going to start by 1st of July, the half year. Okay, but what happens to starting on the 14th of November? What happens to starting by 7th of December? Okay, so when we attach our plans to a specific rounded time, that's when it's always hard for us to do this. So let me just share a brief story. The first day I entered the gym, it was, I think it should be around 25th of October, right? So what I just did, I woke up that morning and I just started my car, drove to the gym and registered without saying anything. Okay, but had it I said, okay, I'm going to do this by 1st, I'm going to do this by 1st or a perfect time, by then you see something else that will come up. So I always try to tell people the best time to start is always now. Okay, and not planning, oh, I'm going to do this next year. If you want to do something next year, the best time to start it is now. And how do you make that perfect start? Which is part of things we are going to be discussing here tonight. Okay, so if you know Robert Half is one of the consulting firms in the UK that hires very well. Okay, and they've done their 2025 trend prediction. Okay, they've released their 2025 trend prediction, and what we saw there is that hiring plans for 2025 is going to be high. Okay, and according to that exact data, nearly 2 in 5 business leaders plan to increase headcount in the coming months. Okay, so there's always an increase with respect to how people hire by January. Okay, so if you are planning to get into the tech ecosystem and you are saying you will start by January, I'm not saying that you are already, on the lose out. You are not, entering it perfectly, because leaders are saying, oh, I'm going to hire by January. And you are saying, I'm going to start by January. It means that by the time you are starting, hiring has begun. So I always try to tell people that the best time to try and learn a skill is always towards the ending of the year. So if you have any company you are with right now, you know that by November, December, we're already having our strategic plans for the next year. Okay, HR is already sending, oh, by next year, I'm projecting that we're going to expand. We need 2 people in this exact team. We're going to need 5 in this jurisdiction, and so on and so forth. Okay, and for you to be part of those people that is going to be hired by that Q1 of next year, it means that you need to start now. Okay, so 2 things are involved. Are you looking to get a job by next year, or are you just looking to start learning tech by next year? So that's the perfect question I'm going to leave in the heads of everyone tonight. If you are looking to land a job by Q1 of next year, which is Q1 of 2025, it simply means that your plan needs to start now. Okay, you need to start breaking into that tech ecosystem now. But if you're looking, okay, by next year, that's when I want to even start seeing if I can get into this tech, then that means your own time to get job will be by Q2 or thereabouts. And like we always know, Q1 always have the highest percentage of hirings that happen in most companies, because that's when all departments are coming up with their deficiencies and everyone is bringing what they need. So still according to Robert Half, they went on to mention that the focus is because of compensation issues, packages as a tool for acquisition and retention. Okay, so remember, like I mentioned, nearly 2 in 5 business leaders plan to increase headcount in the coming months, okay, leading to increased focus and high quality on compensation packages as a tool for acquisition and retention. So this is out of a survey that was carried out, okay? And the next one is that 46% of companies plan to increase salaries in 2025. I mean, we are joining from different economic terrain, different countries that have different environments, right? But one thing that we all can agree on is that the economy is shaking everywhere. Okay, if you're of Nigeria descent, you are going to know that the economy is already on a different level there. Okay, and 46% of companies plan to increase salaries in 2025. And the most notable is the tech ecosystem and the IT sector. So they occupy 34% of that exact number. Okay, and employers say they'd increase salaries to stay competitive in the hiring market and attract skilled talent. So if you are looking to get into the sector of the economy that also have plans, the most notable one is the tech and IT sector. Okay, they are the ones that is leading this exact charge with respect to how 2025 is going to look for each and every one of us. So please, if you're just joining us now, make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you can be able to have access to the slide and what we've said before you join, so they can always follow through, okay? So please make sure that you fill the attendance form. Now, 3 things that you need to do today for you to land a job is very simple. I always tell people that this is actually a very simple task, okay? Number 1 is to learn a skill. Okay, so someone will come to you and mention, oh, I want to be able to get this job, okay, but you don't have the skill. For instance, you want to be a data engineer. You don't know how to perform ETL. You don't know how to do extraction, transformation, and loading. You want to be a data analyst, but you don't know how to use Power BI. You don't know how to use SQL. How are you going to land this exact job? So that is the question I want you to also have in your mind. There's no magic about these things, right? If you want this thing, it's simply about you learning it. Okay? If you want this exact thing, it's simple as just you learning. I was telling a friend that I know how to play a couple of games, but one game I don't know how to play in this life is snooker. And it's just because I've not put my mind into learning how to play it. If you bring PS5, I'm going to flog everyone on this call with PS5 because that's the one I want to play. Okay? So that's the same way if you want to get into any tech sector, the first thing that you need is to learn. Okay, the next thing is for you to package yourself, and the last thing is for you to apply. Okay, and what are those in-demand courses that currently have? Number 1 is data analytics. We have data science. We have the business analysis. We have data engineering. We have cybersecurity. We have financial analytics and project manager, and also HR analytics. I'll still walk us through why these are the most in-demand jobs at the moment, okay? So make sure you stay with me. I'm going to walk you through all these things one after the other. And then number 2 is packaging. How can you be able to present yourself in a way that is very, very packaged? Okay, so when I broke into the, I'm someone that's been able to package and repackage myself. So let me tell a brief story. I studied civil engineering. So my first repackaging was during the advent of, oh, banking is the next big thing. I repackaged myself and broke into the banking sector. Okay, so right in the bank, that's when I realized, oh, is this what I want to be doing with my life forever? And right there, I made plans and repackaged myself again, did data courses, did cybersecurity courses, and then moved instantly. Okay, so but then if you are not able to have that packaging, that's where the challenge comes. There are people that, okay, you are trying to land a data analytics role. On your CV, I'm seeing that, okay, your first job you did, maybe you worked as a customer service person. Second job, you worked as a front-facing receptionist. And then third jobs, I'm seeing that you have maybe 1 month experience as a data analyst. That's already some hindrances. So there is need for you to be able to package your CV that even those initial experience that you had, you can easily bring out things that relates to the job that you want to move into. Okay, so I always tell people that one mistake that we all make when trying to apply to job, including myself, is apply. Okay, simply we're seeing easy apply, we're clicking easy apply. With the same CV, we apply to multiple roles. So there is need for you to be able to tailor that CV down to how it is going to be suiting to that job. Because for you to even, pass the initial applicant tracking system, your CV needs to be able to meet at least 80% of what the job description is looking for. Okay, and then the last is apply. Target jobs specifically and apply aggressively. I was speaking to a friend last week and I told him that the survey I saw said that for you to land 1 interview in a month, you need to apply to 27 jobs in a week. Okay, now this is the general, benchmark from the survey. For you to land 1 job interview in a month, you need to apply to 27 jobs in a week. Now I'm going to ask this question to everyone that mentioned, I'm looking for a job, I need to land a job. can you confirm that you apply to 27 jobs in a week? Which means if you multiply it in a month, you should be landing something very, very high. 27 times 4 in a 4-week month is 108 jobs. Okay, so it simply means for you to land one job interview, you need to apply to 108 jobs. But all of us, we are always tired with respect to applying to jobs. That is one thing that is always generally accepted. But we need to know that applying to a job is a job on its own. Okay, applying to a job is a job on its own. And we are going to get to how all these things are going to be done. I know we are wondering, can this actually work? The same way we mentioned setting yourself for a job in UK, US, Canada with a 4-month course. So, like I mentioned, we've been doing this for the last 4 years, more than 4 years. And we've had people that moved from one job to the other. Okay, so I'm going to just walk us through a couple of these guys and then we'll move on. Abigail used to work as a care worker in Canada before she transitioned to being a business analyst after training with us. Okay, currently she is a team lead with Government Alberta as a business analyst. Okay, then I also have Oluwatosin. Oluwatosin mentioned that it was our mentorship and interview prep that helped him to get a job. And currently, he is currently working as a fraud analyst where he helps people, where he helps the company to prevent credit card fraud. Okay, so please, like I also mentioned, what all these people said is in this slide. So please make sure you fill the attendance form so that we can share this slide with you by the end of this session and you can personally go through it and hear what they mentioned, okay? Someone like Ramat also said that with no prior experience, she was able to land a job as a business analyst in UK after training with us, and of course, with a full visa sponsorship. Then I love what Temivora mentioned. So when he was trying to move in as a lawyer, the challenge was always, can I be able to do this? Because he's coming from an area that is 100% no aspect of technicalities, okay? So, but he moved from being a lawyer to becoming a business analyst. And he said that he loved his time at analytics, most especially because of the way everyone is carried along. I also noticed that someone asked whether you can be able to land a job in Nigeria in other countries. Of course, it is possible. Abdrashid is currently residing in Nigeria and he landed, think someone is trying to start something. Please, let's desist from trying to, do some host arrangements here. Okay, Abdrashid presently is in Nigeria, but he landed a role with Chart 420 as a data scientist in US. And he's currently fully working for them in Nigeria. And we have other people. We have Joel. Joel moved from being a chemical engineer into becoming a data engineer. Vivian enjoyed our data science program and she trained and got a data scientist job working remotely in France. So you can also see that they are also scattered across several countries. Okay, someone like Ikmat, I love Ikmat's story so much, and I'm sure that before we are done with this session, I'm going to play her video for everyone. So Ikmat moved from being a full-time stay-at-home mom, UK, okay, and then landing 2 jobs in UK as well. So when you hear her speak, you're going to comfortably understand where she was coming from. She also mentioned that it is not a fast thing. Okay, people always come, oh, I need this by tomorrow. Okay, it is a gradual process where first, you need to learn the skill. You need to also learn how do I package myself, and then you can also be able to move on. Hi, Lydia, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, can see someone is saying I have, okay, I think this is personally from Kisito's side. Okay, so Kisito, please make sure that you fill the attendance form so that afterwards you can go through it on your own and also have access to this slide. Okay, so next thing is, how can Analytics help you? Okay, people always ask Chukwemeka, how can Analytics help me to solve this problem? And that is what we are going to be discussing this night. Okay, so number one is, let's have a fictitious person. If there's any Victoria on the call, please, this is not you. Okay, let's meet Victoria. She's a customer service rep looking to become a tech talent. Okay, so Victoria, I've said, like everyone on this call, I want to break into the tech ecosystem. I need a job. Okay, so the first thing that Victoria needs to do is to identify her desired tech career path. Okay, to identify her own desired tech career path. So before we move on, I want to also gauge if people on this call have an already existing tech career path in their mind. Okay, so please feel free to type in your own desired tech career path that you want to break into. Okay, just type it in the chat box. If you don't have any yet, I'm also going to walk us through all of them and what each of them entails and how you can be able to get there so that you will be able to specifically choose where you want to go into. Okay, so let's do like Victoria. She's a customer service rep and she's looking to break into the tech ecosystem. But first thing that she needs to do is to identify her own desired tech career path. So I want to see, okay, I can see almost 20 messages. Oh, I can see data analysis, business analysis, cybersecurity, financial business, data, agile, data, cybersecurity, data, project, cybersecurity. Okay, environmental analyst. I love that, Mistura Damilola. Environmental analyst. Most times we always have this general understanding of the tech ecosystem, right? We all know data analytics, but under data analytics, there are several other derivatives from there. You can have sustainability analysis, you can have logistics analysis, you can have procurement analysis, and so on and so forth. So the person that mentioned environmental analysis, you are 100% on track, okay? You just have to find the derivative that it aligns to. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I'm happy that at least one third of the class have a plan already in place on how they want to move about it. Now, the next step is, please move with me with respect to this arrow that we have here. Next one is to learn the skill. Okay, you want to be a data analyst, you want to be a business analyst, you want to be a cybersecurity person. As a data guy, can you use Power BI? Can you use Tableau? Okay, as a business analyst, can you use Draw.io with respect to your process mapping? Okay, as a cybersecurity professional, I saw someone mention that he has CISA as well. Okay, that is amazing. But as a cybersecurity professional, can you use, let's say, Metasploit with respect to your exploitation? Can you use Nmap or Nexus with respect to your vulnerability assessments? So these are things that recruiters want to see. Okay, and I always try to mention to people that certification is good, but is it the first thing? 100% no. Okay, so when you're trying to break into the tech industry, the tech ecosystem is a full competence and skill-based environment. Okay, competence and skill-based environment. It doesn't have certification at the forefront. Okay, it's just like you getting certification first is like you putting your cart before the horse. It's not going to move. Okay, but when you put your horse and the cart is behind it, the horse is going to move with the cart. Okay, so the cart is like the certification. If you go ahead to bring certification first and the horse is behind, it's not going to move. But if the horse is in front, which is your skill and competence, and then your certification is now following, it's 100% going to drag it along. So first thing is to learn the skill. And here at Analytics, we use the self-paced learning material and also the live instructor-led classes. So it's not like YouTube or maybe any other platform that can easily log into and watch the recording of all those things. No. So the classes are all live classes. This is where I'm having conversation with you. That is the same way someone is going to be teaching you in the class. Okay. So next is for you to gain project-based experience. How do you get all those experience that you lack with respect to break into the industry? So if you've tried to apply to any job recently, even with your zero experience in data analysis, they'll be telling you, oh, I want someone with at least knowledge of Excel, Python, or this and that before hiring you on this job. Now, how are you going to get that skill without being hired? How do you get the experience without a chance for you to get experience? That's why our own learning model is the project-based aspect. It means that every single thing that you'll be having will be fully on project-based model. If you are learning Excel, if you are learning something as minor as SUMIF, as minor as VLOOKUP, SLOOKUP, you are learning them using project-based aspects. Because these are things that, one, is going to help you have a hands-on experience with respect to what is happening out there. Okay. And next one is it's also going to give you a possibility of bridging the gap that you have. Okay, so once you've been able to have these initial technical aspects, the next one is for you to gain employability skills, where your CV review session comes in, LinkedIn optimization comes in, how to navigate the job market, interview preparation, reference letter. Okay, reference letter is very, very important, which we also provide. And of course, on the job support. Okay, I think someone is typing something for me. Okay, please, guys, let's not send a direct message to me so that I will not be distracted. Okay, just write your messages down, write your questions down. By the end of this session, I'm going to give us chance to unmute and talk. Okay, and then you can also type in your questions and we'll pick it from there. Okay, so after the gain employability skills, next one is networking, mentorship, and then lastly, you have gotten a job. Okay, I always tell people that networking and mentorship is part of the most important thing in the tech ecosystem. Even though we all work remotely, okay, today you can be in UK, next time you're in Nigeria, next one you're in Kenya, you're on vacation, you're on the mountain, but you are still working. And one thing that I always tell you is that this thing always allows you to network because that's what's going to give you your next big move. Okay, and let's move on. So, what tech career should I get into that guarantees I get a job quickly? I know someone also asked, what tech careers do I need to go into? So that's what we're going to look at now. Okay, so if you look at what we have in our screen, I'm going to say the migrant workers across economic sectors are 2022. Okay, so according to the Migration Observatory by University of Oxford, for every 100 health and care safety hired, 30 are Africans. Okay, so if you can see the first row there, you're going to see the health and care. And if you look where you have the sub-Saharan Africa, which are basically where we all fall into, you are going to see that that is where Africa has the highest number of people. Okay, so most times when we move, the first thing we always try to do is to land all these type of jobs, okay? To land this exact type of job. And you can see African has 29%. And then looking at information security, information and communication rather, is saying that for every 100 tech staff hired, only 6 are Africans. So I hope this is clearly showing us the direction and how we've been able to align the last couple of years. Okay, when it comes to health and care, for every 100 people that breaks into that exact sector, 30 are Africans. Okay, but when it comes to the tech ecosystem, for every 100 people that comes into the company, 6 are Africans. Now, why is this so? Why is this so? It's simply by lack of skill and being able to transition. Okay, because once we move, the first thing that we always want to do is, oh, let me just learn something that is going to be able to keep body and soul together. Okay, but at a point, I always mention to people, make sure that you have a plan. Make sure that you have a plan. If you're comfortably, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that for the meantime, but in the next 3 months, I'm going to sacrifice maybe 3 hours every week to learn this. Okay, and after that, I'm going to move on. Okay, so you can also click on this report here to be able to read the full report. We may not be able to go into it fully, but this is to show you the direction that we Africans are headed. When it comes to health and care, Africa is the top. For every 100, you have 30 Africans. But when it comes to the IT, Africa is part of the list. For every 100, you just have 6 people. Now, how can you be able to solve this problem? Now, you can also see our screen. So currently, we are in the Alberta Catalyzer program to also see how we can be able to help more Black people and make analytics to be more innovative and take it to the next level. So these are things that we are putting in place to make sure that you get to have the best learning as well. So please also click here for you to be able to read more about it, okay? Please, for you to have access to this, you need to be able to fill the slide, fill the the attendance form, so that you have access to the slide and also the recording of this class. Okay, so what are the tech skills that you can easily learn? What are the tech skills that you can easily learn? So what we do every year, by the end of each year, is that we scrape the job boards, several job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, CV Review, CV Library, rather, Google Jobs, and others, okay? With respect to jobs in UK, US, Canada, and other countries. And we get the top jobs that was posted that year, okay? And then we analyze this exact data. From it, we choose three main criteria, which is one, ease of learning. How can you easily, are these jobs part of the ones that you can easily learn? Okay. Number two, ease of transitioning. Can you easily move from what you are doing right now into this new job? Are there transferable skills that exist? For instance, you're a lawyer, and we all know that lawyers have negotiation skills, they have communication skills. These are all transferable skills. So easily, you can be able to move into business analysis. And number three, which is the most important one, high and rewarding salary. I don't know about you, but it is part of the most important one for me, high and rewarding salary. So these are the criteria we use to analyze all these jobs that were posted. And from there, we came about with 8 courses: business analysis, agile project manager, which is Scrum Master, data analytics, data science, data engineering, cyber security, financial analyst, and then HR analytics. So what we also did is to be able to get external validation to make sure that are these courses, are these career paths going to be relevant in the next coming years? Because what we've seen is that with the advent of AI, with the advent of so many things, like we all know, some jobs are going to decline. Okay, so let's move on. So we looked at the World Economic Forum report. Okay, so the World Economic Forum report always have this feature of jobs to tell the jobs that are going to increase in demand and the ones that are going to decline in demand. Okay, so if you can see my screen on the left-hand side where you have all those color codes, you are going to see jobs that are going to be in demand. On the right-hand side, you see jobs that are going to decline. So if you can see my screen, on the ones that are going to decline, I want to highlight one specific area. Can we see the product managers? Okay, so it's hard for you to even tell that product managers are going to decline, but they are part of the jobs that was mentioned they are going to decline. So currently, if what you are doing is part of what is on the right-hand side, you need to start considering a lot of things. First is you have your investment fund managers, dev specialists, chemicals processing plants, electronics, trade, sales and marketing, product managers, and others. These are jobs that are going to decline. And that is because of the advent of a lot of new things. Now, let's look at the ones that are going to grow. First, we have the AI and machine learning specialist. I believe this didn't come as a surprise to anyone. If you're on this call and you're seeing the AI as part of the job, as number one, respect to jobs that are going to grow, it's not supposed to be a surprise to any of us. With the whole advancement in AI at the moment, there are a lot of requirements with respect to this. So let's look at the ones highlighted in red. You're going to see AI and machine learning specialists, rather. You're going to also see business intelligence specialists. You're also going to see data analysts and scientists. Now, this specifically falls within the role of data analysts and data scientists. So it's validated what we needed with respect to are these jobs going to grow. Then next one, you're going to see your information security specialist. So information security specialist basically talks about cyber security, and it's also going to grow. The ones on green, you are seeing big data specialists, you are seeing data engineers, and you are seeing database architects. So this also falls within the part of the courses that we are offering. And lastly, you have your process automation specialist, which speaks to respect of business analysis. Now, there are other jobs here that are also going to grow. For instance, you have your robotics engineer. This is part of jobs that are going to be in demand. But do you think that robotics engineering is something that you can easily learn? Okay. Do we think that robotics engineering is something that you can easily learn within 4 months and transition into it? Okay, I need response from people. If you're on the call and you think that robotics engineering is something that can be learned within a space of 4 months, then please just put it in the chat so that we'll also start considering it as well. Please share form link again. Okay. All right. So that's why some of these jobs that are going to grow, we don't offer them, because for you to be able to break into that sector, you need an extended learning period. You need a period more than a year. For you to be a robotics engineer, you need more than that. For you to be a blockchain developer, you need more than that. Okay, which is why we offer this one. So on the next slide, you're also going to see on the right-hand side, jobs that also will grow. You see the database and network professionals, we speak to data engineers and cybersecurity guys. You see the project managers, we speak to respect of Agile and Scrum project managers, okay? And then you're seeing your financial analysts, and you're as well seeing your data analysts and your supply chain and logistics specialists, okay? So these are jobs that are going to grow. So if your own is on the left hand, on the left hand side, you are safe in the next coming years. But if your job is still on the right hand side, you need to do something about it. Okay. You can see also we have the software testers on the right hand side. Someone was telling me, part of people that joined our program for last month mentioned, oh, I'm a software tester, but I've not been able to land a role. So I simply sent this to her. Okay, since Integrity is also asking me this. So Integrity, I'm not the person that wrote this report, but on the right-hand side on this screen, you can comfortably see software testers. Can you see that, Integrity? Let me see if I can highlight it. You can see software testers on the right-hand side here. Software testers. Okay, so comfortably, it means that software testing is going to decline in the next coming years. And why this is so is because of the advancement of people now carrying out what we call agile project management. Okay, so with respect, before you deploy any product, there are testing phases where people even run demo sessions, they do beta phase, they do alpha phase to make sure that project is fully okay. And they leverage people that is already existing in that company with respect to testing. So having someone specifically, laden with the job to do software testing might be the reason why this is declining. So you can comfortably see that software testing is part of the jobs that are going to decline. So if you're thinking about going into it, it's something that you need to have a second thought about, and make sure that any job that you're looking to break into, especially in the countries that you are in, UK, US, Canada, any of the European countries, or even Africa, Asia, please make sure that the job you're moving into is on the left-hand side. Make sure that it is on the left-hand side. Christiana, is this session recorded? Can I get access to it? 100%. Please, the session is recorded. Make sure you fill the attendance form so that you have access to the slide that we're using, and also access to the recorded version of the class. You can go through it during your own time. Okay, so all those 8 courses that we've talked about right now, you can see so many derivatives under it. So it's not just when you hear data analytics, does it mean that it's just data analyst roles that is going to increase? No. So under it, you have things like business intelligence analyst, you have marketing analyst, you have sales analyst, you have logistics analyst, supply chain analyst, procurement analyst, product analyst, and of course, customer analyst. I know someone mentioned environmental analyst, you have sustainability analyst, others, okay? So others, someone is asking if data analysis is part of the job that is going to decline. Can someone please answer him whether data analysis is part of jobs that is going to decline? Okay, so you can also see data science. Underneath it, you see have your machine learning engineer, you have your forecasting analyst, demand planner, big data analyst, NLP developer, and so much more. Then let's even look at things like financial analysts. You can see things like investment analyst, treasury analyst, your FP&A analyst, which is financial planning and analysis. You have your pricing analyst, portfolio analyst, and other things that are also there. So when you see us offering these 8 courses, it doesn't mean that you are only opportune to be in 8 of those parts. No, there are so many derivatives under each of those courses that we offer. For instance, cybersecurity. You can work as a SOC analyst, you can work as a network security engineer, you can work as a pen tester, you can work as a cyber threat analyst, and of course, your security compliance analyst. So most important thing is for you to have the skill and the competence with respect to that exact area, and then you can now be able to apply to jobs within all this. What is the difference between business analysis and business intelligence analyst? Fantastic. So I'm going to answer all these questions within the next few minutes. Okay, I'm going into explaining what each of these things entails. But please, before I move on, I need to be sure that everyone is following me, okay? So please, if you're on the call, just type in anything in the chat box. If you can hear my voice, type in anything so that I'll be sure that it's not just Princess Nana that is here with me. That is not just Olalekun that is here. If you can hear what I'm saying, please just type in anything, because others have been so quiet, so that I'll be sure that we are all following what I'm saying. Okay, fantastic. I can see a couple of comments dropping now. I can see a couple of comments. That's encouraging, so that I'll be sure that I'm not talking to myself. Okay, we're going to move on right now. Lydia, please confirm that I'm still very much audible. Elijah, Lydia, please confirm I'm still very much audible. All right, so it always seems impossible until it is done. So I know many of us will be asking, is it just those guys who have other success stories? Who have Biola that moved from being an accountant to being a data analyst, Olubumi from being a banker to being a business data analyst, Michael from being, I think, a teacher to landing a sales engineer role, okay, and so many others, All these are all success stories of people that have been able to do this in the past. Okay, next thing is, but how can you be able to do this within the 4 months? Like I mentioned, is for you to be able to first identify your own career path, move up the ladder, learn the skill, gain the project-based experience, gain employability skills, network, and then get mentorship session. So I'm going to ask us a very interesting question before I dive right into explaining what each of those courses entail. Okay, so you have a car and your car spoils. Okay, you have a car, your car spoils. Are you going to give your car to someone that is saying, oh, I'm a graduate from Harvard University with mechanical engineering majors, right? Or are you going to give your car to someone that didn't go to school, but is an experienced mechanic he worked on Toyota, he worked on Aston Martin, Benz, and other cars, and he's showing you, okay, these are the cars I've worked on. Who are you going to give your car to? This or that? The graduate from Harvard University, or the person that has a mechanic workshop that said, oh, I've repaired the Toyota, I've repaired the Benz, I've repaired the Volkswagen. Who are you going to give your car to? Let me quickly gauge how we are following what we've been discussing. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of these. Someone said this. Okay, this is the Harvard engineer. That is the experienced mechanic. Okay, I think that has it. We have a lot of that. Okay, I'm also going to explain this. This is because when it comes to this aspect of job, it is 100% skill practical based approach. Okay, it is 100% practical based approach. Someone with a degree from Harvard, if I ask the person, okay, where is your oil filter located? Where is your sump? Where is this? He may not even be able to identify it. All right, but someone that have been able to work on several cars can comfortably be able to show you what and be able to repair it. Now, this is how the tech ecosystem works. Okay, in our program, we always have people that come, oh, I have CISA, I have CNNA, I have CompTIA++. Can you use Metasploit? Can you use Nmap? Can you use Nexus with respect to your assessment, with respect to a network deployment? No. Okay, we'll have people that will come and say, oh, I'm a data scientist. I'm doing my master's as a data scientist, AI in this, AI in that. But can you do machine learning? No. I'm doing data analytics in my master's degree program. Can you use Power BI? No. How do you expect to land a role? Now, if you go through several job boards, you're going to notice that degree is not part of what these guys always request for. What you're going to see is must have. You're going to see the skills, Power BI, SQL, Python depending, okay? And then nice to have. That's where you now start seeing some of these degrees that we are pursuing. So quickly, I'm going to show us a portfolio of a data analyst. And this is to show you how your learning experience is going to be tailored, how it is going to be tailored. So for you to be able to work out in the tech ecosystem, you need to be able to show evidence of what you've done. The same way we mentioned that you are going to choose the mechanic, the one with the experience over the Harvard graduates. That is how a recruiter is going to choose a data analyst with a portfolio that can show evidence of what they've done than you that have masters in data science, masters in BigQuery, and so on and so forth. So quickly, this is a portfolio of a past student in our classroom, okay? And comfortably, you can see some of the projects that this person has been able to work with, okay? You can see he worked all down. If you scroll down, you're going to see what he did with respect to this exact project. So when you scroll down and click on this exact place, click here, you will see what he or she did with respect to using Tableau to solve the health sector issue. Now, this is him showing evidence of what he did to analyze healthcare data. And from it, I was tagged to analyze the ER, the hospital visit. People can't hear me. Lydia, please confirm that you can hear me. I'm breaking. All right, quickly, just 1 second. Quickly, let me be sure that this is perfectly in check. 1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second, and it should be back up right now. Just 1 second. Okay, I should be firing right now. Lydia, are you there? Okay. I think I am back. I connected to several devices. Okay, so you can comfortably see the project that this exact individual worked in, that exact hospital analysis. So he or she can speak respect to what happened here. So the same way she worked on Redux airline analysis, so she can speak with respect to the aviation sector. She worked on Express Tech food delivery. She can speak with respect to logistics industry. She worked on Nestle product analysis. She can speak with respect to FMCG industry. Zenith Electronics using SQL, she can speak with respect to the technology industry. So with that 4 months learning, she's been able to touch base with more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sectors of the economy. Okay, first in the health sector, next one aviation industry, next one logistics sector, FMCG industry, and of course the technology company. And this is the perfect way to learn. Okay. Sorry, 1 minute or so. And this is the learn. Please confirm that you can hear me now, Lydia, because I noticed that something is really taking up my bandwidth. Hi, Lydia, please confirm that you can hear me now. Hi, Lydia, are you there? Works now. Okay, fantastic. Now, you can see that within that 4 month space, this individual has been able to touch base with several sectors of the economy. Now, this is how you also will be able to learn using this project-based model. Okay, this is how you can be able to learn using project-based model to make sure that you have evidence to show us things that you have been able to work with, okay? To show that you have evidence of things that you've learned with. Now, the same way a data analyst learns using this exact model, that's the same way everyone has project-based attachments to how they are going to learn, okay? So that is the same way the data engineer will have a project-based learning, the business analyst will have a project-based learning, and every person there, okay? The project base will it be for those doing the business analysis too, 100%, okay? So for any program that you are learning, it is 100% project-based learning. So quickly, because of our time, let's also go and look at just the business analyst as well. Then we're going to dive right into the other aspects. Okay, I think, thank you, Ibrahim, for that the problem, okay, that he can hear me loud and clear. Thank you for that, Ibrahim. So for the business analyst also, you can see that this person worked on projects also. So he worked on Unilever canteen ordering system. So let's click and explore the project and see what she was able to come up with. Okay, so when you click on it, it's going to bring you into what she worked on. So right here, you're going to see that they had the Unilever canteen ordering system. Okay, that is the project that they are supposed to work on. And if you scroll down, you will see every single thing that she did with respect to this project. It's still loading. But the same way a data analyst has project to work on, that's the same way every single person you are learning using the project-based model. Okay, so as a business analyst, they were, going to solve the canteen ordering system that Unilever is having challenges with. How? So first of all, they identify the problem. Okay, they set out their objective of things they want to achieve, and of course, identified each of those key points that they want to carry out. So you can see here, they've identified the problem statement. They moved on to getting the objective of what they want to get. Okay, and that is how you can comfortably be able to build and learn using the project-based model. Okay, that is how you can comfortably learn using the project-based model. So each of these career paths, you will learn all of them using a project-based approach, because that's the only way you will be able to get the experience that you lack with respect to breaking into that industry. Okay, so that is the only way you will be able to get the experience that you lack before breaking into that industry. Because for you to land a role, recruiters are going to ask you, please, how many years of experience do you have with this? Can you use these tools? Can you use that? For you to be able to show them that you can do this, there is need for you to get all those skills. Okay, there is need for you to get all those. As a business analyst, you're going to see the business case you work on, starting with the executive summary, moving to the business problem, the options you have, the benefits, timeline, cost, and of course, you also carry out your stakeholder analysis, carry out your SWOT analysis, do your RASI metrics to make sure that you find how to solve this business issue. Now, this is how you work on other real-life projects. So you can also see that she worked on the Unilever canteen ordering system. She worked on Sunshine Resort, British Airways. She worked on ABC Retail, Max Corp, and several other industries. So let's check the sectors of the economy. Unilever system we can call it FMCG industry, hospitality sector, aviation industry. Also worked on a retail sector, technology company, and of course, other sectors of the economy. Now, do you think that when it comes to hiring, that recruiters are going to ignore this person that has all this sector-based experience and choose you that do not have any project backup? Now, let us be honest to ourselves. Okay, these are people that are looking to compete with breaking into the industry. Do you think a recruiter will see this person that learned using project-based model and have been able to, have experience from several sectors? Or do you think they're going to choose you that has a master's from University of Data Science? Okay, I want to get our reaction before we dive into explaining all those career paths. Who do you think recruiters are going to choose? You with a master's degree from any university. Oh, I think my video is off. I didn't know. You with a master's degree from any university, or this exact person that learns using project-based learning. Who do you think they are going to choose? I can think Princess Nana mentioned skilled. Okay, I think I've taken note of Princess. You mentioned skilled. And if you want to land roles, it's simple. Okay, it's simple. Okay, Daniel said for financial analytics. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to show financial analytics before I dive into explaining each of these career paths and for us to have understanding of what it entails. We may not be able to explain all of, show all the projects tonight, but this is to tell you that for any of the career paths you are moving into, you have a project-based approach that you are going to learn with. Okay, so lastly, let me show the one for financial analytics. Okay, so I think that is from Onyeka. Okay, not Onyeka, that's from Daniel. So this is from for the financial analyst. Okay, so you can see that she worked on Safe Foods Co, their financial modeling and valuation. Okay, she also worked on a financial industry with respect to their loan charges. She worked on a bakery industry to also build a financial model. She worked on forecasting of China and USA GDP, and also on a financial planning model for a real estate company. Okay, so let me just click on one of them. So let me click on the first one, the Safe Foods Co. So when you click on it, you are going to see what she did. So right here, you can see that first, this is the 5-year financial model, okay? And first, she was able to build her KPI on things that is expected. And next, she moved on to show the different statement of comprehensive income and how the gross profits, operational expenses, and everything for the year 2024, 2025, 26, 27, and 28. And that is how she was able to build these statements respect to from beginning to end and be able to have a working financial model. Okay, so that is how she did this for one company, Financial Foods Co. And the same way she was able to work on all these other sectors to have a project-based model to show as evidence of things that she's been able to learn. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Daniel. So we may not be able to show all the portfolios, but for you to break into the tech industry, first thing that you need to have is make sure that you have a working portfolio. Make sure that you have evidence of things that you've learned. So next one, I'm going to walk us through having understanding of what each of these courses entail. Who is a business analyst? Okay, so who is a business analyst? So please, let's all get our pen and paper right now, because I'm going to explain all the agencies in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to explain all of them. So a business analyst is someone that serves as the middle guy between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. So he or she is interfacing with all the CEOs, the CFOs, the CEOs, and also with the technical guys, the software, the front, back end, and others. Okay. And the most important thing that he is saddled with, make sure that the communication is flowing easily. And also, you are the process owner in this exact company. So you're also responsible for making sure that all processes are optimized. You're responsible for making sure that each of those processes that exist in your company is fully streamlined. So first thing that you're going to be learning, you have full understanding of process mapping. How do you identify all the touch points that the customer has? How do you identify all the different journey that the customer has to go through? Okay, you are going to talk how to do this. Okay, and next you also be walk through project initiation planning. So you are going to be in tons and tons of meetings where project plannings are going to be handled. Okay, as the person that is going to interface between the technical guys and the management team, which are the non-technical guys, means communicate easily among parties. Agile project understanding of requirements fundamentals, elicitation method. How do you get out from parties to be able to communicate it easily? Understand.
Sorry, guys. I was muted and I didn't know I was muted. I was muted and I didn't know I was muted. And I've been speaking all this while. Okay. So quickly, I'm going to recap most of these things that I mentioned. Okay, just 1 second so that I'll be sure that you guys didn't lose me so much.
Okay. So I was talking about the business analyst. So for the business analyst, sorry, I hope everything is back now. My second screen logged off and then my other one is still here. Okay, so for the business analyst, like I mentioned, you are working as the person that is going to interface with the technical and the non-technical guys, and which means you need understanding of all these key things I've mentioned. Process mapping, how do you identify the customer's touch points? Project initiation planning, how do you plan projects? Agile and Scrum for projects, how do you manage your project in an iterative manner? Software development cycle, how do you have understanding of the initial waterfall aspect of project management? Requirements fundamentals and the execution method, how do you get out information from your stakeholders with respect to building an amazing business case? Okay, so for you to be able to have all this understanding, that's where business analysis falls in. But also, if you can see the first thing there, we have Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Excel, Power BI, and SQL, because there are some business analyst roles that you go for, and they will require someone that has experience of Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Okay, so that is the reason why it is added here. So you're going to be learning Excel, Power BI, SQL, Lucidchart, Draw.io, and of course, Jira and Confluence. These are tools that you're going to master before you can break into the business analyst track. So for business analytics, analysis rather, it is a 4-month program where you learn massively in the classroom for 2 months. And then you have an internship experience of 2 months also working on other real life projects. Okay, the class holds every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, morning class, or the evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Okay, so it's morning or evening. It's not both of them. It's one of them. So morning fits people in Europe and Africa, while the evening suits the people in North America, Canada, and United States. Okay, then on Sundays, you get what we call self-paced watch me do it video. Remember we said it is both self-paced and also it is live class led. So Saturdays, you get a live class interaction where you have someone in class talking to you the same way I'm talking to you right now. Then on Sundays, you will get the short bite watch me do it videos to introduce you to deeper concepts. All right, next one is your Agile Project Manager, which is also the Scrum Master. So these people serve as coach and leaders in the project team. Okay, so if you are looking to break into a team as a leader, as a coach, then Agile should be where you're looking for. We tend to also brand it as the no-code area in the tech ecosystem. So with respect to Agile Project Management, you are not writing any line of code. You are not doing anything technical. Okay, and you are going to be walked through, first of all, project management methodologies and the structure. Then you also have understanding of the skills and communication aspect of project management. Then you dive fully into understanding Agile and Scrum. And of course, you will walk through the Scrum framework fully. How do you build your Scrum artifacts, your product backlog? For instance, you want to cook jollof rice, you need to identify ingredients before you cook, which is you need your rice, you need your oil, you need your water, you need your, everything. That's the same way as the Scrum Master Agile Project Manager. Your company wants to build a mobile app. You need to identify the necessary things that they need to put into place before it starts. Maybe things like, okay, we need the password, we need username, we need landing page, and several other things. Okay, and you also be taught the advanced Scrum. How do you perform your daily Scrum activity, your stand-up meetings, with respect to making sure you carry your team along? Then you have full understanding of how to use Jira and Confluence as well, with respect to projects. Then sometimes I always tell people under project management, sometimes waterfall may not work. Sometimes Agile may not work. Hybrid may not even work. It might be something as little as Kanban boards for workflow management that you will need for you to be able to perform that exact project management. So which is why you also have understanding of Kanban boards. Okay, and next is, how do you know when your team is performing above par or below the requirements? That's where the velocity, burn up and burn down chart also comes in. Then you'll be walked through the leadership and real world application, and of course, your Nexus scaled Scrum. And everything that you learn in Agile Project Manager will prepare you for your professional Scrum Master examination. So for Agile, it is also for 4 months, where you learn immersively in the classroom for 3 months, and then you intern with us for 1 month working on real life case studies. Then the class holds every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Okay, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Then on Sundays, they also have classes that holds 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. All right, so you're going to be learning Confluence, Jira, and of course, Trello. So next is the data analyst. Okay, I hope we are still together. Next is the data analyst. So when we talk about the data analyst, we are looking at people that come into companies to solve problems and show insights from the data that the company has. So under data analytics, we'll have the descriptive analytics, we'll have the diagnostic analytics. So the data analyst is looking to solve and answer these 2 questions: descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics, which is what happened and why did it happen. For instance, on this call, let's say we had 200 people that joined the call. Okay, the data analyst has maybe to look at the data and saw that, okay, we had 200 people that joined the call. That is 200 people. And then let's say maybe 50% came from United Kingdom, 20% came from US, the other 20% came from maybe Canada, and the rest came from Africa. Now, this is also what happened. Now, why did it happen? That's where data analyst is now going to, look at the data that the company has and be able to say, oh, we had 50% people joining from UK because the marketing team channeled 50% of the marketing budget towards UK environment. Okay, and then they did a small amount in United States and small amounts in Canada, and of course, they didn't even market in Africa at all. So from there, it can comfortably tell the senior management that if we want to break into the African market or the Asian market, we need to be able to channel some of our marketing budget towards that exact line. Okay, so these are things that the data analyst is solving: descriptive analytics and diagnostic. What happened and why it happened. Okay, so you're going to be walked through the various techniques to solve a problem, and then also be walked through Excel. Okay, so you have full understanding of Excel. What are the rows, the column, the cell, moving into your formulas, absolute referencing, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and then how do you even use your pivot table, and of course, building your pivot charts. Then next is how do you now combine all this together to show a dashboard with respect to your insights. Okay, then next one is SQL. As a data analyst, you need to be able to communicate with the system, with the database rather. You need to be able to communicate with the database. And for you to do this, you need to speak the language that the database understands, which is a structured query language. And you're also going to be taught how to do this. Then you have your Power BI and your Tableau. These are visualization tools that will enable you to work on large data sets and be able to bring out your insight easily. Okay, then data storytelling is also very, very important. How do you tell your story in a way that it connects from point 1 to point 2? For instance, if we started this call and I jumped right into, oh, the price for this is this is this, the story is not going to align. So as a data analyst, you need to be able to tell your story from the beginning, which is you analyzing your data and even sourcing for that exact data, towards the insight that you're able to bring out. So these are things that you also will be taught in the classroom. And of course, you have understanding of ChatGPT for analytics and also Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. And of course, Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. Then the learning timeline is for 4 months, okay? And you are going to learn in the classroom for 3 months and now have an immersive internship experience for 1 month, okay? And the class holds every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, okay? And then the evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. So the morning suits the people in Europe and Africa, while the evening suits the people in the North American side. Then on Sundays, you get your self-paced Watch Me Do It video that is going to introduce you to deeper concepts. Okay, now the tools that you are going to learn to rephrase is Excel, SQL, Tableau, Microsoft Fabric, and of course, ChatGPT for analytics. Then next is the data scientist. Next is the data scientist. Now, who is a data scientist? These are people that go a step further to answer the predictive analytics aspect. Remember, under data analytics, like I mentioned, you have your descriptive, you have your diagnostic, which is what happened and why it happened. And these are things that the data analyst is solving. The data scientist is now going a step further to answer the predictive aspect of it, which is what is going to happen. So if you're looking to go into the aspect of you want to be able to be telling the future, then data science is part of you. Okay, but now you're not looking at how do you use predictive models, how do you use coding to be able to tell what the future entails. So first thing you also learn is statistics. Okay, how do you use your descriptive statistics and your probability, your hypothesis, and your testing, right? Then moving into forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. Now here you'll be walk through time series analysis and of course your regression analysis for your trend prediction before you now move into Tableau for analysis, okay? So the same Tableau that a data analyst will learn, you also have understanding of it, and of course, SQL. Then you go a step further to learn Python programming, okay? And also exploratory data analysis, okay? Next is machine learning. Both, you're going to be learning your supervised aspect and also your unsupervised learning. Before you move into computer vision, how do you build image processing systems? How do you build object detection systems? Okay, and then last is GitHub version control for you to be able to have your GitHub base and also repository management before you move into Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So data science is going a step further to use predictive and coding aspects to answer predictive questions of what is going to happen in future. Okay, I hope we are seeing the difference between both of them. The learning timeline is also for 4 months, where you learn in the classroom for 3 months and then intern with us for 1 month. Class is the same, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and then the evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Then Sundays, we'll have the self-paced aspects where you have access to other videos to watch. Then the next one is the data engineer. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, my throat is almost dry. So next one is the data engineer. Okay, so when we talk about data engineering, let's try and link it to the plumbers that we have in our construction companies. Okay, so the same way you have plumbers in your construction company connecting different pipelines to the septic tank, possibly the water system, the shower, the sink, everything is being channeled to the septic tank. That's the same way your data engineer is building pipelines to make sure that data is available for the people that need it. For instance, in the banking sector, the data engineer will be the pipeline to connect accounts open through the web page, internet banking, open through mobile app, open through physical manual process, and make sure everything is moved to Finacle. Finacle is the core banking system that most banks use. So that at any point that anyone wants to, at any point that you come to the bank, they can easily see your data. So it doesn't mean that, okay, because you open it through a new platform, it's not going to be available for the second person, right? So it's important for you to be able to have this understanding. So I'll still come to HR and financial analytics, right? They are the next ones after this, okay? So the first thing that you do as a data engineer is your introduction to data engineering, where you have understanding of your data architecture, have understanding of the data lifecycle management. How do you manage data? And also understand SQL. Now, your own SQL learning is not the same way as the analyst and the scientist. You are using SQL with respect to how do you put data into the database, okay? Remember, the analysts and scientists are using SQL with respect to how do we bring out data and analyze just in the first place, okay? And we also have understanding of Python programming and then Linux operating system. Okay, so it's no more just Windows operating system and Mac OS. You also have the basic Linux command knowledge and also your process management with respect to Linux. Then next is how do you build a custom ETL pipeline? How do you script a website and be able to bring out that data move it to your integrated development environment, it's your ID, maybe a Jupyter Notebook or your Google Colab, and be able to transform that data there. And then, of course, load it to a database, possibly a Postgres. Okay, so basically, you're learning your ETL, okay, extraction, transformation, and loading. Then, how do you automate all this using your Apache Spark and also your Apache Airflow? Then you have full understanding of AWS cloud engineering, where you learn how to utilize those services with respect to deploying, managing, and scaling your data. Then you also learn version control with GitHub, and of course, ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. So the learning timeline for data engineering is for 5 months, where you learn in the classroom for 3 months, and then you intern with us for 2 months. Okay, so the time for data engineering is on Saturdays, only one class, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time, or 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain time. Okay, I think the clock has shifted. So it should be 9 a.m. to 12 noon Mountain time now. Okay, and then on Sundays, you get your self-paced watch me do it videos. So next one is the financial analyst. I know someone asked about the financial and the HR guys. Now, quickly, the financial analyst and HR guys, these people are also data analysts, but they specialize in this aspect, specialize in finance and specialize in people analytics. Okay, so the financial analyst will learn the same thing a data analyst will learn, the same problem solving, the same Excel, the same Power BI, and then the same SQL. Now he will now move into accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling. How do you leverage all those tools that you've learned with respect to working in the financial environment? How do you use Excel for your financial modeling? How do you use Power BI to show your KPIs that you've been able to see from your financial analysis? And of course, you also have understanding of sensitivity and scenario analysis. The learning timeline is for 4 months also, where you learn in the classroom for 3 months and then 1 month internship experience. Now, on the class holds every Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, Sundays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African, evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Then on Sundays, you get your Watch Me Do It videos to also introduce you deeper concepts. Now, for the HR analysts, these people are also data analysts that specialize in people data. So they will learn the same thing. Data analysts will learn problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL, and now move into how do they, integrate this into the people analytics. How do you perform your performance evaluation? How do you do your HR life cycle with respect to building your compensation analysis? How do you build your HR metrics and dashboarding? And of course, report automation. Okay, so all these will prepare you with respect to being able to have an in-depth knowledge of HR analytics. So I think only one is remaining, which is the cybersecurity guys. Guys, we've been on a roller coaster. Okay, I hope we're still here with me and that you guys have not dropped off. I hope everyone is still comfortably hearing me and has been following me till this very moment. Please, let's make sure that we comment so that I'll be sure I'm carrying everyone along. I know there are a couple of questions. So why I'm not touching them is because definitely they're part of the things I'm going to also handle. All right. Okay, I can see a couple of years still following. Amazing, amazing. It's good to have you guys. So please make sure, I know at a point, maybe you dropped off or network glitched or anything happened. Make sure you fill the attendance form, because these are things that will enable you to go through the slide on your own, look at all those key learning points and be able to understand it personally. Okay. Kisito said my daughter go finish more time. Kisito, your daughter should not finish. So please make sure you fill the form so that even if your data is not finishes or you had any glitch, you can comfortably go through the slide or watch the recording. All right. So lastly, we have the cybersecurity guys. Like we all know, we all have digital assets that needs to be protected. The same way we have two-factor authentication in our phone, have facial lock in our phone. That's the same way someone needs to protect the integrity of data that's out there in companies. And that is where the cybersecurity analyst comes in. Okay, so first thing that you also learn is introduction to cybersecurity, where you've been introduced and then have full understanding of computing and networking, where you'll be taught what is LAN, what is WAN, what is CPU, those are what is subnetting, okay? So you'll be taught those basic knowledge before you move into your information security principle. So as a cybersecurity person, there is three major principles on which cybersecurity is hinged on, and that is the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. How do you make sure data is confidential and order? So you'll be taught how do you perform an attack and defend an attack, which is offensive and defensive cybersecurity. How do you perform your cryptography basics, cyber threats and attack vectors, network security, endpoint security, web and application security, cloud security, incident response, and of course, cybersecurity policies and compliance. So by the time you are done learning, you have full possibility to work as a SOC analyst, okay? How do you use Fortinet to respect your firewalls? How do you use Microsoft Defender? How do you use Splunk as a CM tool? So these are tools that you also be taught. And of course, as a pen tester, how do you use Metasploit for your exploitation? How do you use Bob Suite for your web and application exploitation as well? So these are things that you will have full knowledge in. Okay. Elijah, I am breaking. What's going on tonight? Oh God. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Elijah, are you there? Lydia, are you there? Please confirm that you can hear me. I think someone mentioned that I am breaking. Elijah, Lydia. Okay. I believe I'm audible now. All right, so how do you use all these things that I've mentioned with respect to your cybersecurity? And of course, you have full understanding of your threat intelligence and also GRC respect to your ISO standards, GDPR, NDPR, depending on where you are joining us from. Okay, please go back to cybersecurity page. All right, so 1 second, I'm going to bring it up now. Okay, I think it's still showing. All right, so this should be it. Okay, so this is cybersecurity. And then your learning timeline is for 4 months also. All right, your learning timeline is for 4 months, where you learn massively in the classroom for 3 months, and then intern with us for 1 month. So class holds every Saturday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. West African time, and then also on Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. Okay, I hope everyone got that. So I've been able to, show us all that you need with respect to all these courses. I've been able to, explain all of them one after the other. I hope by now that you have full understanding of what your own course entails. I hope by now you have full understanding of what your own, where you're looking to go into, what it entails. Please, if you don't, it may not be possible for you to know all of them once. Please make sure you fill the attendance form so they can go back and watch all this. Someone said I did not explain agile project management. So I explained it. Maybe you dropped off at that point. All right. So please make sure that you fill the attendance form so they can be able to go back and watch this video. And also we'll send this slide to you for you to be able to go through it on your own. Now, how then do we guarantee that you don't fail? 2 things are involved, right? If you try, you have 2 possibilities. Either you fail or you succeed. But if you don't try at all, there's only one straight possibility that you have, and that is failure. So if you've been saying, okay, January, I'm going to do this, February, I'm going to do that, and you've not even tried to do it at all, that is, you've failed completely. But if you try and say, okay, you are going to learn or you're going to do this, you now have 2 possibilities before you. Either you fail or you succeed. And most time, people succeed. And that is because we have a winning formula that we use here. To land a job is not just the technical aspect of things that you need. Okay? Who is sharing their screen? Elijah, Lydia, are you there? Elijah, Lydia. somebody removed me from sharing screen. Elijah, are you there? Lydia, are you there? Someone is sharing their screen. Please, who is that? Okay, so like I mentioned, Elijah, please let's try and revoke everyone's host access so that I can be the only one that can do these things. All right. Allow all participants to share screen. That is the challenge now. Please let's revoke everyone's access and make sure that I'm the only one that has the right to do all these things, please. Okay. All right. So continuing, like I mentioned before now, for you to be able to land roles, there are two things involved: the technical skill and the employability skill. Okay. And the technical skill are the part of things that I've been able to explain now. The technical skills are everything that I've explained that you will learn. Now, as a tech person, employability skill is also important. And these are also things that will put you through to make sure that you are fully rounded. And number one is CV review session. So you are going to be taught, how do you match your CV to apply to roles? As someone that have been, maybe you've learned data analytics and you're applying to sales role, sales analyst, you're applying to logistics analyst, you're applying to procurement analyst, do you make use of one CV? 100% no. So for you to be able to land all those roles, you need to know, how do I tailor my CV to suit that job I'm going for? Okay? How do you tailor it to each of those jobs? And we are going to teach you how to match your CV to that job and also provide you with templates with respect to how you can start up in the first place. Okay, and next is LinkedIn optimization. How do you remain relevant and be active and visible? I was trying to hire someone for a lead generation role. So what I did, I went to LinkedIn and searched apollo.io. So LinkedIn brought out everyone that made a post relating to that. And what I simply did was to just headhunt who I needed and make the hiring. Okay, and that is how recruiters also use LinkedIn. But if you are learning and you're learning in isolation, or you're not learning publicly, that means people are not even going to know that you have this exact skill. Okay, number three, we also walk you through, how do you navigate the job market? So here we bring in experts back to the classroom to walk you through on how you can be able to navigate the job market. How do you use read.co, Wellfound, remote.co, the several job boards that exist there. And then interview prep sessions, where when you land an interview invite, we are available to also prepare you for interviews. How do you answer? Tell me about a time in the past where you made use of Power BI with respect to analyzing the data. Can comfortably talk, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on the healthcare data where I analyzed the ER visit analysis report. And from there, I was able to do this, do that. So you've used the STAR approach, which is situation, task, action, and result, to answer that exact question. And what it does is that it boxes those people to ask you questions from what you've said. But once your response is not structured, it is hard for them to remain inside that same question. They'll not be asking random questions. Okay? And we'll also give you reference and recommendation letter at any point that you need it. So we provide reference and recommendation letter at any point that you need it. Okay. I think someone is saying something. Okay, please, Elijah, are you there? It's audible. Oh, please, you guys are making me to fear. You guys are also making me to, try and do some technical changes as well. Once I see someone saying they can't hear me, I quickly try to, make changes to my environment as well. Okay, so moving on, you also have on-the-job support that when you land a role, we are still available to provide support for you till you find your fitting on those jobs. Then weekly mentorship session where we also bring in experts to the classroom to walk you through what you need to know, possibly a day in the life of a data analyst, a day in the life of a data engineer, and of course, Upwork sessions to also teach you how you can utilize the Upwork platform with respect to landing freelance roles. As tech people, everyone always wants money. So there's always, we're always here and there looking for how to make all these things happen. So this is part of the platform that you'll be using, which is our learning management system. So when you join, you have access to this learning management system and you enroll in your own course. This is where you'll be learning the environments that you have. Remember, so all these live classes are also recorded, okay? So even if you missed a class, it will be recorded and uploaded to this platform for you to go back and watch it on your own. Okay, because we always have, as adults, it's always hard to get everyone into the same room at the same particular time. And people may have work engagements, news sheets, family engagements. So we always record all the classes and also upload it to this platform that even if you missed it, you can always go back and watch the recording. And what you have is lifetime access to it. So you have lifetime access to it. In the next 2, 3, 4 years, can still go back to all those recording and be able to go through it. Okay, and people are also asking, okay, is it only these 17 people that have shown that have been able to get jobs? So these are not it, all right? So when you get this slide, you can go through this. You can see what happened. We had a student, Stephen, anointed Stephen, he got a job. Okay, I just want to say a very big thank you for providing me with a reference. And the next thing he said is, I'm still getting offers, but I don't know who I can recommend. If you have anybody who is solid enough that I can recommend in case another comes forth within Scotland area, please send them across my way. So these are all how our alumni also help each other, because they are all in the classes together. And after the Anointing Stephen's own class, he got an offer, but he still kept getting other offers. So what he had to do is ask us, and we recommended 2 people in Scotland area, and they were also able to land these roles. So we have a lot of people that have been able to get jobs. These are also other success stories of people that have moved from one role to the other. We have someone like Michael Adelusi. So Michael, when he finished his data analytics own training, you can see it on his LinkedIn profile, he moved into regulatory data analyst. Okay, and afterwards, he moved into data science role. Then Oluwaseun is also following Michael's trend and moving into the same company, that 7 Trends, as of July this year. So we have a lot of people. So on this slide also, we may not be able to touch it all, but when you get it, you can click on all these success, some of the time that we brought the students back. So you can click here to watch all those student sessions where we brought back the students to talk to people on how they were able to do this their own time. So please, when you get it, make sure that you click on it to also watch it. And like I mentioned, ITMAT video, I'm definitely going to play it before we are done so that we can have the her own story also. Now, the beautiful thing is that the next cohort is starting by the 7th of December. Okay, 7th of, do we have students in Kenya? Yes, we have. Okay, the next cohort is starting by the 7th December. So we always have cohorts that start every first Saturday of the month. And if you are looking to have that New Year resolution of you want to break into tech, the best time to enroll and start it off is this December. So we have the next class starting by 7th of December, and there's an amazing discount for you. Okay, so all the 8 courses that we offer goes for a combined amount of $750. Okay, but it's currently discounted to $600, which means a 20% discount for the first 20 people to join any of those classes. So first 20 people to join those classes gets to pay $600 for all the packages that we have instead of $750. And how can you go about this? So once you click on the link that my colleague has dropped, it's going to bring you to this platform, which we call the Analytics Enrollment Center. Okay, so once you click on the link, it's going to bring you to this Analytics Enrollment Center. And all you have to do is to scroll down. Okay, so when you scroll down, you are going to see all the courses that we offer. All you have to do is just choose the one that suits you. So in pounds, you may want to do the change yourself. In pounds, it should be around 500, should be around 500 or thereabouts in pounds. Yeah, should be around 500. Okay, so once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to this Analytics Enrollment Center. And right here, scroll down and select the course you want to go for. Okay, less than that. All right, fantastic. So scroll down and go for the course you want to go for. Sorry, 1 second, the platform is still loading. 1 second, it is still loading. All right, let me troubleshoot and make sure that it is in order. Just 1 second, let me troubleshoot and make sure it is in order. All right, I think it's up right now. So when you click on it, it's going to bring you to this page. My screen will come up in the next few seconds, okay? My screen will come up so that will show us the platform. Okay, so once you click on the link to bring you to the Analytics Enrollment Center, and all you have to do is to scroll down and select the program that you want to go for. And once you select it, you can now see the option to make payments one-off, or to make payments twice, or to make payments 3 times. Okay, so you have the option to make payments one-off, you have the option to make payments twice, and you have the option to make payments 3 times. So it's been done in such a way that you can comfortably be able to make installmental payments. Okay, it's done in such a way that you can comfortably be able to make installmental payments. So once you click on it and it brings you to this exact platform, all you have to do is either you select the one-off payment of $600, or you select the twice payment of $300, or you select the payment to make it 3 times, which is $200. So my screen is coming up now, so I've been able to bring it up. Okay, my screen is coming up. So once you click on it, you will get this exact site, which we call the Analytics Enrollment Center. So all you have to do is scroll down and look for the course you want to go for. So let's assume I want to go for data analytics course. If I scroll down, you see all of them. So right here, let me select data analytics, which is register for DA. So once I click on it, it's going to bring me to the page for me to check out my payments. So right here, I can now select how I want the payment structure to be. So if I want it to be one-off, I can simply select that I want to pay $600. If I want it to be 3 times or 2 times, I can select the $300. If I want it 3 times, I can select the $200. So let me select the $200 and click on proceed to pay. So I've selected it and clicked on proceed to pay. So when that happens, you see, okay, the first payment is due today. Next payment is due by the 3rd of December. And the last one is due by the 3rd of January. Okay, so once you click on proceed, it automatically brings you to this page. All you have to do is fill in your details and click on pay for product. Okay, so it automatically converts the money to the currency of where you're trying to make payments from. So if you're using a pounds card, it converts it to pounds for you automatically and makes the equivalent deduction from your card. If you're using an euros card, it converts it and takes the equivalent. So any currency that you are using, it automatically picks the equivalence of that local currency and takes it from your account. Okay, I hope I've been very, 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 very explicit. Remember, this discount is just for the first 20 to secure their spot. So I'm going to, take questions right now. I'm going to take questions right now. So please, if you have questions,
Please, if you have questions, drop it in the chat box and I'm going to take it from now, okay? Or you can also use the raise hand icon and then I'll be able to pick it up from there. Okay, so if you have questions, please drop it in the chat and I'll pick it. Also use the raise hand icon and I will take it up from there. Okay, let me check if there are questions. Please, this is the question time. Feel free. How do I get the discount? So the discount is for the first 20 people to register. Okay, the discount is for the first 20 people to register. So once the 20 is up, the site automatically changes to the full amount. So it's fully automated. So all you have to do is go to the site and make payments now, because once the 20 is filled up, the discount is automatically removed. So it is automated. All right, I think Joanna, your hand is up, so I'm going to ask you to unmute. Hi, Joanna, please go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much
Hi.
for the beautiful presentation. It was really very enlightening. So my question is regarding the discount. So you're saying that there's going to be 20%, right, discount?
Yes,
Well,
please. Yes.
is it for the December cohort or it also applies to the January?
So it is 100% applicable to the December cohort. All right.
So the January cohort is also going to get a chance, right?
All right. So the January cohort will not get a chance. So that's a full assurance. So, but the only possibility for the general person to get it is you have the option to register and defer for a month. Okay, so you can register for December, but instead of starting December, you defer that you want to start your own learning by January. So it locks down this existing pricing. But if you wait till December for us to start talking about January, I can 100% assure you that the pricing is not going to be the same. I mean, we are all in this economic.
Still
I didn't hear you, Joanna.
It's still going to be 750?
Yes, it might be 750. It might be more than that. Okay, because of the whole economic dancing that is happening everywhere, considerations are already around it at the moment. But we just, said, okay, let's stick to this 750 that we've been selling throughout the year and then have our review by the end. But 100%, I'm telling you for a fact that it will not be like this by next year. It will not be like this. So what I always tell people to do is you can secure your spots and defer to start 1 month ahead. So which means instead of you to start by December 7th, you'll be starting by January. But that means that you should be able to lock down the pricing. So if there is any change in pricing, it will not be able to affect you. I hope that answers your question, Joanna.
Yeah, it does. But how does one defer?
Okay, so once you are filling the form, once you have registered, you see the option for you to select whether you want to start by December 7th or by January 6th. Okay, so you see these options.
So wait, because I already did that, but not on the payment part.
Okay, so have you made payments now?
No, I've not made payment.
Okay, so once you are done with making payments, right, and you come back to this enrollment center, you will see upload your receipt here.
Right.
So when you're uploading your receipt, you'll be asked, when do you want to start? So right there, you can now select that you want to start by either December 7th or by January 6th.
Right.
Okay, so after making payments, click on upload your receipts here and you will see, you fill in all your details because it's what you put here that we're going to reach out to you with. So that's where you now said, okay, want to start by January 6th or thereabouts. I don't know if that answers your question, Joanna.
Yeah, it really does. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome. So Joanna, I hope you are looking to start January. Okay, I think Joanna has muted herself again. Okay, I think I have a lot of hands raised. iPhone, I've asked you to unmute. I may not be able to know your name. iPhone, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, sorry, I didn't have the opportunity to update my name. My name is Clement. By next class, I think I will do that. Yeah. So, looking at your presentation about data analytics, I was wondering if even at a personal level, I didn't see much of some quantitative data analytics tools like the traditional one, like the SPSS or the Arrow or the MATLAB or either of those two that we can use in the everyday analysis of quantitative data, and also maybe in the qualitative data like the in vivo or any other one. but excellent in terms of data visualization too. I don't know, I'm looking towards upscaling because I currently work in the not-for-profit, and we do a lot of surveys and sometimes even do analysis up to some inferential statistic of using either SPSS or some of those traditional data analysis tools. I don't know if it is not part of your curriculum for data analytics generally. Is there opportunity for like a personal interaction to have someone upscale in the area of maybe learning R or learning in vivo or learning either of those statistical tools with you?
All right, fantastic question, Clement. So if that's what you are looking for, you should look towards data science. So if you see the first thing that we have there, it is statistics. Okay, so under it, you also have forecasting and predictive analytics. You have your exploratory data analysis. So fully, what you are looking for is covered under data science.
Okay. Well, I work as a data analyst, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can take data science alongside even data analytics, because I will want to also upscale in the area of some of those things I'm seeing under data analytics. So is it possible to take both classes? Would there be opportunity, maybe take one for morning section and the other? Can they run concurrently? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear again, no problem.
Elijah, are you there? Please, yes, please unmute me. I think someone unmuted me, or someone muted me. All right, so like I was answering, all right, like I was answering what Clement asked. So Clement, Python fully handles basically everything that R is meant to handle for you. All right, so why you don't have R here is because there is Python already. Okay, and why we have Python is on the day-to-day job that people carry out. Most companies use Python more than they use R. Okay, so most companies use Python more than they use R. You know, the challenge now is that anybody that wants to break into the tech industry, there's always this affinity to, let me learn this, let me learn that, let me learn this, let me learn that. But which of them do companies use on day-to-day basis? That's the first question that you need to be able to ask. And that is where Python comes in 100%. I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers your question. Okay, I think we'll still have other hands raised. We may not be able to take all the hands, but Fowang Kizito, I'm going to ask you to unmute now so that we can also take your question. Fowang Kizito. Elijah, please make my second device a co-host. Please make my second device a co-host so I can easily tell people. Okay, hi Fowang, please go ahead with your question.
Hi. Hello.
Right. Yeah, hi. How are you doing? Please go ahead.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Please, good evening once more, Mr. Chukwuemeka, and thank you for briefing us, for bringing us through this. It's really been enriching. I would like to know, we are caught short with the payment and the discount and there's a lot of pressure. It's my first time and I really am interested. What is the time limit that we have to get this discount? Like, if I say I want to do the payments in.
Sorry, I lost Kizito. Is it from my end? Elijah, are you there?
I think it's from
Elijah?
Tito's end. I can hear you. Can you hear me, Chukwemeka?
Okay,
Hello?
please. We lost Kisito. I can hear Elijah. Kisito, if you are there, we are trying to ask the time limit for you to make payment and get the discount. So what I always tell people is that the limits are actually in the hands of the people. Okay, so when we finish having sessions like this, there are some courses that instantly the 20 slot is filled up immediately. Okay, so it depends on how people, I think she dropped off entirely for one case, but just for everyone's knowledge, some people instantly after the courses like this will have 20 people registering for data analytics. And when it happens, that means they will not, others may not be able to get that discount again. So I always advise everyone to try and take advantage of it at any point that they meet it, okay? Because it's not something that is within our hands. It's automated and it's on the platform. Once you recognize 20 people have made payments, please roll back to the full amount. And it's just committed to the to it like that. Is it physically or remotely, Ademola? It is 100% remote training. So everything that we're teaching is fully virtual, where you're going to have live interaction with someone like this, teaching you and walking you through everything. Hi, Alfred Kubop. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead with your question.
All right. Yeah. Good evening. I've already trained in the Power BI, SQL, and Advanced Excel, and I'll be starting Python soon. So I wanted to know, since I'm already doing it, I've done it for a couple of months. I have first certificate, and I'm still learning because it's tech, and you have to keep on learning. Since I have not secured a job yet, so I wanted to know how mine will be different because I'm not. Maybe I'm not starting from the basics, but there are some things that I didn't join early. But I heard you mention something on Upwork, LinkedIn, and so I want to know for someone like me, how is the package different, or do I have to go through the whole training again, or what? Or I don't know. So if you could tell something.
All right, I'll answer that, Alfred. So, respect to you. Remember what I mentioned. For someone to land a job, two things are involved: technical skill plus employability skill. And from our own side, we can only be able to be sure that this person has technical skill if they pass through us. So it's a combined package. We don't offer the employability side differently. Okay, so they all come together and then as one. What I always advise people to do is to leverage, if you've had Excel, Power BI, and SQL knowledge, I'll advise you to try and learn possibly data science, where you now start going into different other aspects of things like Python, going into the other full details like statistics and being able to have understanding of it. So what I advise you to do is to go the route of data science and upskill from there, and then have access to things that the employability services that we offer. So we had someone like you that joined, and this is him, that's Ine Akpabio. So when he came to our program, he mentioned that he has 10 years of experience that as a data analyst and this, and he been in the system, that he just wants the employability skills. But we had to talk to him, and he went the route of data science. He went for a managerial interview, and I can tell you that he got the CEO role of that company. And that's after he'd been able to have that data analytics that he did before, now came back to us and did data science and had to, take the employability services that he actually needed and started applying to roles. So the first interview he went for managerial role, he got the CEO role. So I always advise people that they can reach out to these guys and also be able to have conversations with them to know how they were able to do it also. Okay, so that's what I would say. So Alfred, we don't offer it separately. It's a combined package. So I advise you go for data science and be able to upscale from there. So for one, Kisito, I think your question is how to know when to secure your spot and if the 20% is over, right? So basically, for you, we from our own end, we don't even know sometimes, right? So it's automated, right? That once the 20 people, make payment to the platform, automatically it rolls back to the full pricing. So it's automated. Once you recognize 20 people have made payments here, please roll back to the full pricing. And that's how it happens. So it's always in the hands of the people. And what happens mostly after sessions like this is that some of those spots are filled because people tend to want to reserve their spot as quickly as possible. So I advise you to try and secure your spot with the first instrumental payment. Okay, so you don't have to wait till you have the entire full amount. You can secure your spot and be able to, pay off along the 3 months intervals that you have. I hope that answers your question. So it is in the hands of the people. If the first 20 people secure that spot, automatically it rolls back. Okay, so I always advise people to secure that spot as fast as possible because after sessions like this, there's always a surge in some of those courses mostly. I hope that answers your question for Wang. Okay, I think the next person that we'll have is Oluwaseun. That's the last hand that we have up. Hi, Oluwaseun. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead before I look in the chat for other questions. Hi, Oluwaseun.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Please go ahead.
I really appreciate your session and it's quite insightful and I just want to ask, I would want to actually make the first payment now, but the only thing I'm looking at is I might not be able to join or start in December. Does the next payment automatically, if I will be looking at starting in January, but do I need to make the next instrumental payment as in, is it in January or does it shift a month forward or it has to still go in the succession of the 3 months, the regular schedule that I've been.
Yeah, so I understand your question. Shem. So don't mute yourself yet. So what happens most times is that it's automated, right? It's automated platform. So automatically, if you make payments by 30 days interval, second one goes. By the next 30 days, third one goes. So we always advise people that when it happens that you are selecting a different starting date, we are going to have a personal conversation with you and find a balance along that exact one. But automatically, it's automated. Okay, but there are some people that want it to, I don't want it to happen, roll it over for me. So we always have that personal discussions with those kind of people. Okay, but naturally, it is automated. But if the person doesn't want, we now look at the possibility of doing a manual rollback after the payment happens. But it happens automatically. It's not something we want to be able to interject. I hope that answers your question, Luash. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it actually cleared it. The most important thing is the fact that there is opportunity to actually have a one-on-one. Then the other question I have is for the data engineering program. I looked at the content. I see that it's sort of because of the content, the weight of the content. How is it possible to cover all these within the time frame that is allotted for the program?
All right, thank you so much, Oluwaseun. So what I always tell people is that if we all are trying to learn everything before we go into the sectors, you cannot learn it all. Okay, so if you bring Excel right now, someone will tell you, okay, do you know how to do macros? Do you know how to do VBA? These are also things that exist in Excel. But on the day-to-day activity that we perform, do people use macros and VBA? The answer is no. So remember I told you that we teach using the real-life approach on what you expect on the job. So we're going to teach you those things that will help you land the role. Now, for you to become an expert in any field, there is need for you to now be in that space and continuously grow yourself. I don't know if that answers your question, Oluwaseun. So what you'll be taught is things that is necessary for you to land roles. And then on the job, that's where you now continuously keep improving yourself. Okay, you can't technically, if they give you 2 years to learn data engineering, trust me, learning will not do it all for you. So it's until you land a job and be present in that space, that's when you can now continuously build yourself. So does that make sense to you, Oluwaseun?
That does. Thank you so much.
I think Shemu has, okay. Yep, I think we've been able to answer all the questions now. Okay, so I think there are some other questions that are here. So guys, we may not be able to take all the questions, okay? We may not be able to answer all the questions tonight, but in the communities that you joined us through, we always have the community manager will send a link that we have clarity calls to handle one-on-one conversations for us to even find the befitting career path for you. So please, when that link comes in your group chat, make sure you use it, okay? Make sure you use it and then join a one-on-one conversation where we're also going to have sessions to answer personal questions. Okay, because you may not be able to answer 100 plus people's questions tonight, okay? So you will have that link coming to your group chat and then we'll ask you question. Okay, let me look through the chat and then answer one or two questions from there and we'll start rounding up. Hi, I'm a beginner. Can I still join? 100% Rita, you can join. So all our courses are beginner friendly. So we carry you from ground zero to expert level. If you saw some of those success stories, there are people that moved from teaching into tech. There are people that moved from medicine or pharmacy rather into business analysis. There are people that moved from law into tech. So it's all beginner friendly and we teach from ground zero and climb everyone up. Can I do data analytics and product management as one course? No, you cannot do two as one course. So it is one course at a time because the timing also runs concurrently. So you can always register for one, learn that exact one and climb from there. This is also part of the mistake that some of us make. While trying to transition, MongoDB will come out, we'll jump and learn. Jira will come out, we'll jump and learn. Anything that comes out, we'll jump and learn without having a specific direction. So this means that when you're applying to roles, you don't even know the one you're moving for at the first. So I always advise people, go for one, have the full knowledge of that, and then move for the other. I hope that answers your question, Joe H. My name is Gabriel. My question, what can I do in case whereby the payment system does not accept any other form of currency other than US dollars? So the platform accepts payments in all currencies. So automatically it changes the currency to the local currency of what you have. Okay, so it's a global collection point. I think there's one from Edet Akibong. I have learned a lot, but let's be fair about the price in Edit. I don't know where you're joining Akibong, but let me also be honest with you. Our pricing has actually been static for the last 3 or 4 months. Okay, it is the economy that is deteriorating. When I transitioned with 35,000 Naira back then, as at 2018 or thereabouts. And when I tell people, it's always a laughing thing. And in the next 2-3 years, people that transition now, when they tell their story, people then also say, is it possible? So the pricing has actually been the same for the last 3 to 4 months. It is the economy that is changing. $600 as at 3 to 4 months ago was maybe should be around 400, 600,000. As at January, it was around 400 to 500,000. Okay, but right now, it is above $1 million. So it is the Naira equivalent that is actually dancing a very, very horrible dance. So it is 100% not our pricing that is shifting. My name is Gabriel. Okay, I think I've answered it. Integrity, you may want to raise your hand for me to see you and ask you to unmute. So if you want to ask questions by vocally, use raise hand icon so that I'll see your hand and then ask you to unmute. I asked, can I pay for just one of the programs? 100%. You can pay for just one of the programs. Also on session, Mr. Chukwemeka, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much as well. We have access to recordings, 100%. Please, for you to have access to this recording, make sure you fill the attendance form so that I can send the recording to you and the slide also for you to go through this. So one challenge that people have sometimes is that we've not been able to make the decision on the career path to select. So I always tell people you can secure your spot, and while uploading your receipt, instead of saying you've selected this or that, just choose you want to speak to an expert. So what it does is it helps you secure your spot, and then after we've had conversations personally, we can now be able to put you in a career path that suits you. Okay, but please make sure you secure your spot so that you not wait till you have a one-on-one conversation. And by the time you're going back, the spot is filled. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Okay. I think this is where we start rounding up for the night.
I think this is where we start rounding up for the night.
So,
okay.
Sorry, my two devices are open. They have Emmanuel Ezako. Hi, Emmanuel. I've asked you to unmute, so ask your question and then we'll round up for tonight. Emmanuel, please, you have the floor.